Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism series, Dhamma talk number 15. Today's topic is Unwholesome Mental Factors, Part 2. In the last Dhamma talk, we have discussed the first subgroup of unwholesome mental factors, which consists of 4 out of the 14 unwholesome mental factors. And those 4 arises with all unwholesome consciousness. They are common to all unwholesome consciousness. Today, we are going to discuss the second subgroup, which consists of 3 mental factors, namely lobha, diṭṭhi, and māna. And these 3 unwholesome mentals associate with greed-rooted consciousness. They associate it with greed-rooted consciousness, not with any other consciousness, only with greed-rooted consciousness. The first mental factor, lobha. We have heard that word so many times, and I believe most of you knows what it is. It is one of the 3 mental defilements, kilesa. 3 mental defilements: lobha, dosa, moha, greed, anger, and delusion, kilesa. It is one of the 3. And it is commonly translated as greed. Lobha, greed. That is the official, most commonly translated word. But let's go a little more precise than the word greed. Lobha is wanting. Lobha is being attached to an object. It covers all shades of self-interest, such as wanting, craving, longing, missing, clinging, grasping, and attachment to someone or to something. And these are all under lobha, whole varieties of wanting, whole different intensity of wantings. Having lobha is like putting a color dyed onto a white cloth. Once a dye is cast onto the white cloth, the stains will be there. the stain will always be there. Just like that, lobha is. It casts an unwholesome character onto the plain and pure consciousness. Its characteristics is taking hold of an object or grasping it. Through that characteristics you know or can identify lobha. As soon as there's grasping onto an object, as soon as there is taking hold of an object, that's lobha. That's how one can identify lobha. It grabs and it takes hold of the mind. In other words, taking control of the mind. Lobha. When it comes in, it takes controls and it directs the mind what to do. Its function is sticking. Okay? Its job is to stick. Sticking. Like we all know crazy glue. One of the stickiest, strongest glue. If anything touches with that glue, stick to it. That's how lobha is. Once a person wants something or someone very strongly, one cannot get rid of it from the mind. Once you want something very strongly, that object stays in your mind. You can't even get rid of it. Even if you want to forget it, you can't forget it. It sticks to the mind. The object sticks to the mind because of lobha. In the scripture, it gives an example as they call it a monkey glue. There is some sort of a resin coming out of the tree and it is really sticky like a glue, and it's also shining. So when a monkey goes, they are always curious creature. When the monkey goes to that little sticky shiny thing, it touches. When it touches with one hand, can't get it off. So he used another hand to unglue it, but both hands stuck to it. So the fourth, he used one leg to peel himself off, but can't. Second leg, can't. So finally, he used his forehead to push away, but two hands, two legs, and the head stuck to that resin from the tree. And finally, he even used the whole body to push it off. But all the 6 points are stuck to it. Through the 6 senses, the 6 objects, 5 physical and 1 mental, when they stuck to the mind with lobha, just like that monkey, you just can't get away. That's lobha. It's the example given in this scripture. Monkey glue. And its proximate cause for the arising of lobha is sense object, 5 physical sense object, and 1 mental sense object. That's the proximate cause. I think that would cover what lobha is. You'll have enough information to be workable. The second mental factor is called diṭṭhi. Diṭṭhi. Diṭṭhi means a point of view. A view, in short. A point of view, a view. Or also translated as seeing, the way one sees things. Seeing. And also believing or belief. Once you have a belief, that means you have a point of view. Belief is even very strong. So, a point of view, having a belief or seeing, that is the meaning of diṭṭhi. And if one's view is incorrect from the truth, deviate from the truth, it becomes a wrong view. Before it is just simply a view, diṭṭhi. What is that? View. But if it is a wrong view, what's a wrong view? Wrong view is deviate from the reality, deviates from the truth. And if you want to precisely call what it is, it's called macchariya, wrong view. Maccha is wrong. Diṭṭhi is view. So you put the prefix wrong, maccha. So macchariya is wrong view. And if one's view is correct, according to the truth, according to the reality, it becomes the right view. Right, in Pali we call it samma. Right view, samma diṭṭhi. Right view. Wrong view, macchariya. Right view, samma diṭṭhi. So that's the precise, word by word, through language. However, the word diṭṭhi is commonly used while speaking or even in writing. As soon as you hear the word diṭṭhi, it is commonly used and commonly accepted as wrong view. You don't have to go and say macchariya. As soon as you say diṭṭhi, it signifies wrong view. But precisely, it's called macchariya. But now, everyone has come to accept diṭṭhi as wrong view. So, diṭṭhi by itself precisely is simply a view. Didn't say it is wrong or right. Those little things need to be known. Diṭṭhi, wrong view, has a specific meaning under Buddhist terms. Very specific, not just general. Believing or viewing what is not permanent as permanent. What is unsatisfactory as satisfactory. What is non-self as a self or a soul. And also believing there is no life after this life. That's diṭṭhi. And also, if one believes this life goes on forever, eternity, it never ends, one after the other. to eternity. That's a wrong view. And also, there are no results in neither good actions or bad actions, good karma or bad karma. You do something good, you don't have to worry about the consequences because there's no result. And then the bad, the same, that's a wrong view. And there's no such thing as karma vipaka, cause and effect, actions and its resultant. Believing as such is called wrong view. So those are very specific definition of what wrong view is under a Buddhist term. In Pali, anicca, dukkha, anatta as nicca, sukha, atta. Okay? There's no such thing as cause and effect, karma vipaka. There's no life after this, and life goes on to eternity. And these are very specific definitions of wrong view from the Buddhist point of view. And its characteristics. How can you identify this diṭṭhi? Characteristics is how one defines something, knows or cognites something. Characteristic is giving an unwise attention to an object. If you give an unwise attention to an object, automatically you are stuck with the wrong view. The function is to pre-assume wrongly. Presume or pre-assume wrongly. You look at something and you have as your own assumption. If you have a wrong assumption, that is the function of diṭṭhi. Diṭṭhi is at work. It manifests as wrong interpretation or wrong belief. That is its manifestation. If there is diṭṭhi, there's a wrong interpretation with you and a wrong belief with you. That is manifestation. And its proximate cause is the unwillingness to see the noble ones. Because these things are not easy to see as it really is in a reality, ultimate reality sense. It needs some guides, and the guides come from noble personage, noble person, noble people. And you don't have a willingness to associate or see these people, is the proximate cause. If you want to see them, automatically they can direct you and redirect you. That's what diṭṭhi is. So, let's go to the third mental factor, māna. Okay, translate it as conceit. Māna, conceit. Conceit is compared to a raised flag in the wind. That is the example they give. A raised flag on the top of the flagpole in the wind. That's how conceit looks like. indicates, this situation indicates to be above all others and is flattering and waving to get everybody's attention. That's conceit. Always think bigger and better than other, and always trying to get the attention, center of attention. That's conceit. Always think I'm ahead above the others. However, don't think only those people have conceit. People who have not been successful, people who are not rich or famous, and people who are down and out also have conceit. They have their own conceit. You just look into this little statement. Think about this little statement deeply. The one who is down and out and a failure of life. See? Look at this person, look at that person. Somebody makes some statement to them. Say, oh, I don't care what he said. I don't care how rich he is, how powerful he is, how smart he thinks he is. I don't care. What does he think he is? Who do you think I am? That kind of statement, that kind of thoughts in the person, in a low, down and out person, is a conceit. In Pali, it's called hina māna. Hina is small, inferior. Māna, conceit. Still, small and inferior person have still their own conceit. Conceit is with everyone. High or low, successful or failure, doesn't matter. This conceit traverses from the obvious state to the very subtle state. Some people you can tell, wow, look at his ego, look at his conceit. Some people, it's even difficult to detect because it's so subtle. But if you're in tune and if you're mindful, you can detect these little behavior of conceit, even in a person who looks very humble, composed. You can still detect it. How subtle it goes. We all know there are 4 levels of noble person. The first, the lowest, second, third. That is pretty high. Above that there's only 4th. Even on the 3rd level of noble state, anagami, non-returner. Those noble person still has conceit. They still have pride in the achievement of Dharma work. That's how conceit is so subtle. Just having little pride in their Dhamma achievement. Only the Arahant are free of conceit. The characteristics of conceit is haughtiness, quite haughty. And if you see a person is haughty, high or low, doesn't matter. That is expressing conceit. Its function is self-exaltation. And it manifests as vainglory. These are the words I take out of the book because I'm not quite good with English language, and I just want to be as precise as possible, directly out of the book translated words. Characteristics: haughtiness. Function: self-exaltation. Manifest as vainglory. And its proximate cause, immediate cause, is greed associated with views. Greed associated with views. That is the proximate cause. That is the second mental factor in this subgroup. Third mental factor. This subgroup is mental factors are associated with greed-rooted consciousness. And they are lobha, wanting, dosa, lobha, wanting, diṭṭhi, wrong view, and māna, conceit. That is one subgroup. And the third subgroup consists of 4 mental factors, and they are dosa, issā, macchariya, and kokacchāda. And these 4 associated with anger-rooted consciousness. Okay, 4 of them. As they associate only with anger-rooted consciousness, they are put into one subgroup under unwholesome mental factors. We will go one at a time of these 4. First one is dosa. It is translated, most commonly translated as hatred in the books. Dosa covers all shades of displeasure, annoyances, irritation, frustration, dissatisfaction, aversion, anger, animosity, hatred, ill will, whole range of various intensity of dissatisfactions or aversions. All those are under the term of dosa, D-O-S-A. This dosa at a higher intensity, level, there is another word that used in the place of dosa. It's called patigga. It's nice to know. Sometimes you might come across that word and you don't know what it is. Patigga is the high intensity dosa. Okay? Patigga means striking against. Striking against, patigga. High intensity dosa. And also in dosa there are 2 types. Outward striking, outward slashing. Anger is called dosa. You're angry and you slash out and strike out anything and everything and everyone around you. That's dosa. But there's another kind of dosa that doesn't strike outward. It goes inward. within yourself. Inward piercing anger is called domanassa, such as sorrow, sadness, grief, depression. Excuse me. So, inward piercing kind of things such as sorrow, lamentation, grief, depression, sadness, they are also dosa, and Pali is called domanassa. It's the mental state that just pierces inside. It's only you who's feeling it. And the characteristic of this dosa is ferocity, is ferocious. One becomes rough, tough, and ferocious. That's the characteristics of dosa. And its function, its job, is to spread and burn its support. Its function is to spread and burn its supports. It will burn you, both physically or bodily, as well as mentally, the mind. It will burn you both body and mind. It will burn you first before it burns others. When dosa arises, it affects you, it afflicts you first before it afflicts others. When dosa is arising, one becomes irrational, insensible, and also carry a very, very narrow viewpoint. Your options of seeing things become very limited. Only one point of view, and that's it. And anger keeps on burning. Even if it is so much and so strong, one can get illness, or even die, or go mad, crazy, from great anger. See, some people, they can have a high blood pressure raised, having heart attack. Those are the physical symptoms in terms of illness arising from anger. It manifests as affliction or persecution. It makes self and others suffer. That's what it means by affliction and persecution. It makes yourself suffer, it makes other people suffer. That is the manifestation, suffering. The proximate cause is displeasurable objects that are not pleasurable to you. There are 9 grounds, 9 grounds of annoyances. Okay? In other words, 9 reasons how anger can arise. Won't go too detailed, just in general. If you feel or if you see this person harm me, this person had harmed me in the past, and this person is harming me right now, and this person is or will be harming me in the future. Directly upon yourself, past, present, and future. 3 causes will make you angry. And also, the same thing, past, present, and future. This person had hurt and harmed my loved ones. Past, present, and future. So it becomes 6. And also, past, present, and future. The third one is this person is favoring me, favoring or taking side to the person I hate and dislike. This person is favoring or supporting or taking side with the person I dislike. Those are called the 9 grounds of annoyances. It makes you annoyed, it makes you angry. Okay, I think that should be enough for dosa. The next one is called issā. Issā. It is translated as envy. When you are envious of others, it's called you are having issā, I-S-S-A. Its characteristic is being jealous of others. Okay, you are jealous of others. Others' success, you are jealous of it. Others' people's wealth, fame, intelligence, beauty. If you are jealous of others with regard to those, and many more, whatever you can think, success, wealth, fame, intelligence, beauty, then you are having issā. You are having an attack of an issā. Its function is to be dissatisfied with others people's success. We'll just use the word one word success. It covers all those things that I mentioned. Manifest as aversion towards other people's success. That's issā. And the proximate cause is other people's success. Whenever other people are doing well, great, you are having issā. When you have envy, when you have jealousy towards those things, you are having issā, envy. The next one is macchariya. This issā and macchariya, people call it in pair. Iṭṭhi, macchariya, iṭṭhi, macchariya. So let's see what this macchariya is. Macchariya is a little tricky. One need to know with precision what it means. A lot of people interpret wrongly. And in the scriptures, it is interpreted or expressed in this line, this sentence. Let not wonders onto others, but to myself. Let not wonders onto others but to myself. No. Don't let anybody have it except me. Don't let anybody have anything what I have. Don't want other people to have what you already have. Don't let anybody have or taken from you. Its characteristic is concealing one's own success and wealth that one has obtained. Okay? The characteristic is you conceal your own success and wealth, because by concealing, number one, you don't want anybody to know what you have, so they can't even compete with you. What you already have, and or even what you can have. Okay, let's say, oh, if I go this route, I can pick up the greatest, juiciest blueberries and corn. But I shouldn't tell anybody. You don't want other people what you can have that they have. So you hide that little trail and path away from others, because if you go on that trail, you will get the juiciest blueberries and the sweetest corn. That is macchariya. You don't want other people to have what you have. You don't want other people to have what you can have. Sometimes you don't even have it yet, but you can definitely get it, and you don't want other people to get it. Its function is not to bear sharing all these things with others. You can't bear sharing. It is not that you don't share. It is not that you are simply stingy. You can't even bear the thought of sharing it. That is macchariya, not miserliness, not stinginess. It goes beyond that. When others use or have what you have, or what you will or what you can have, at that time aversion arises. When other people use what you have, or when other people can use what you can have, aversion or anger arises in you. That is due to macchariya. It manifests as shrinking away from sharing with others. You shrink away from sharing with others. That's the manifestation. And its proximate cause is others people's success. So there are 5 kinds, if you want to put it in things that you have macchariya with, in terms of dwellings, houses, in terms of followers. You don't want other people to have as many followers as you have. Offerings. You don't want other people to have gifts. This applies especially to monks. Okay, the monks live on offerings. One monk A get offerings, and one B get offering, and he wants to have more people to come and give him more. Even monks have this macchariya. In terms of beauty, in terms of fame, and in in terms of know-how, knowledge, intelligence. I'm smart. I don't want anybody to be smarter than me. You don't want to part those 5. Dwelling, followers, offerings, beauty and fame, and know-how. You don't want to part with them. You don't want to have anybody to have it more than you have it. That is macchariya. Issā is envy, and macchariya is not wanting to share with others. It's a little difficult in the short words, but you understand the meaning now. Those always go hand in hand, issā, macchariya. And the 4th mental factor is called kokacchāda. Kokacchāda. Guilt or remorse after having done wrong. I think wrongly. Guilt or remorse after having done wrongly. I'm trying my best to speak as precise English as possible. Guilt or remorse on having done suffering-producing actions in the past, or having missed doing happiness-producing actions in the past. You feel guilty because you did something wrong. You had done something wrong, and you feel guilty that you haven't done this one. Shoot, I forgot doing it. You feel guilt. Something good. You forgot to do something good in the past. You feel guilt. That is kokacchāda, having guilt, having remorse for something that you have done wrong, or making suffering-producing actions towards others, and miss doing happiness-producing actions for others. The characteristic is having subsequent regret. Its function is to sorrow over what has been done for bad karma and has been not done for good karma. It manifests as guilt or remorse. Its proximate cause is things done wrong or not done what should be done in the past. That is its proximate cause. They sound very similar, but there's some subtle differences in these statements. It is feeling sorrowful or dissatisfied. Okay? Basically, you're feeling sorry and you are feeling dissatisfied. So mental state, mental anger, dominasa. So it's anger. And all these 4, dosa, anger is obvious, of course. Issā, envy, there's a dissatisfaction. Macchariya, there is definitely dissatisfaction. Guilt, there's a dissatisfaction. All these 4 are associated with dissatisfaction. That's why these 4 mental factors are called or are associated with anger-rooted consciousness. 3 associated with greed-rooted consciousness, and this 4 associated with anger-rooted consciousness. So today we will stop with these 7. It's important to understand these unwholesome mental states in detail and see and reflect and be mindful what kind of unwholesome mental state arising in you. And that way you will really know more and more about yourself. How would you know? With and through mindfulness. May all of you be able to be mindful, sharply and precisely, and be able to eliminate all these unwholesome mental states as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.